Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Tania Gustafson here, your nutritionist and fitness coach with Fit Nutrition, coming to you live in our 8 weeks group here. Hopefully we're streaming. And sorry about the delay. Had a little bit of techie problem. I don't know. It wasn't letting me stream. I don't know what I did, but here I am. So the story of my life, right? I am not the tech person. You guys all know that. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about something that was a huge revelation to me when I discovered this probably about 2 years ago now. And it's about multitasking, because who doesn't want to get more things done in a day, right? How many of you out there? Okay, so first of all, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're coming in from, and if you're watching me live or on the replay, okay? Because I know I had to change the time really abruptly this morning. I apologize for that, and so we're an hour earlier than we normally are. So for those of you who are normally joining in live, my apologies, but I know that you can watch it on the replay when the time comes up. So all right, so today we're going to talk about how to get some of that time back, and the multitasking. So does multitasking really save you time, or does it kind of steal your time? And I've just been diving into a lot of these things and found a lot of helpful tips that I can give to you to help you get back some of that time, because one of the biggest obstacles to doing things that we want or need to do, especially for our health, one of the biggest things is I don't have time, right? There's two things that people usually say. It's either the time or the money, or both. So today we're going to address the time and see how we can get some of that back in your life today. Okay, so I've made a few notes because I didn't want to miss anything, because this is really good stuff. So you're going to want to stick with me. So we're going to talk about getting time back, how we can adjust in the morning and in the afternoon to get that morning time and some time back later in the evening, and how to what strategies and things that you can put in place during your day, whether you're staying at home, whether you're working from home, whether you work from an office, whether you work from on the road. Some strategies and things that you can put in place that are super simple, but it's going to help streamline your day and then give you some extra time back. Okay. And then time blocking. We're going to talk about time blocking. We're going to talk about a weekly planner. And then I'm going to show you a visual of how multitasking actually works or doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to do that at the end, so you got to stick with me, and you're going to see how that works or how it doesn't, and then how does that impact you. I'd really love to hear in the comments below what your takeaway from that is, from this podcast today. Okay, so the first thing is getting time back in the morning and in the afternoon. Morning time is super important. How many of you out there have ever, the alarm didn't go off, maybe there was a power outage or something, you wake up in the morning and you're late, and you hit the ground running, and maybe you missed breakfast, or you grabbed something that didn't satisfy you, or you missed your coffee, and you're late for work, and the kids are screaming, and whatever happens, and you're just like, oh my gosh, could anything else go wrong in this day, right? It's not the best day. And you kind of feel like you're playing catch up for the whole day, and you're exhausted. Dinner comes, you finally get dinner done, you put the dishes away, and you're just like, oh my goodness, is the day even over yet? Nope, you got to do walk the dog and put stuff away, and maybe fold the laundry and put your kids to bed, or whatever it happens to be. And then, it's like, oh my word, what a day. And it just feels like you didn't get anything, you weren't productive, and you were just like back to back to back. Everything was rushed, right? So morning time is super important. And something that steals our time in the morning, it steals our time a lot, and we're going to address it, is this little device right here. Oh, there's me and my husband. This little device right there, your phone. So especially in the morning, if the first thing you do is you're asleep and you wake up and you grab the phone and you put it in front of your face, and you start answering messages and checking emails or scrolling through the internet because you're just kind of laying there waking up, that is not the best way to wake up, okay? Number one, you're probably going to get a lot of negative feedback coming into you, negative information first thing in the morning. And, you've all kind of heard that expression, win the morning, win the day, right? It's a little cliche, and it's like, but it's actually true. So if you're there and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all these things that happened. And then you read an email. Oh, shoot, I forgot to respond to this last night. That came in late. Oh my goodness. oh, and you start going through all these things, you're setting yourself up to just be like angst, with a whole lot of angst and tension before you even hop out of bed. And that's just not the way you want to go. All right. So leaving that phone, I have set my phone so that, you get the notifications. Sometimes people just leave it on vibrate. They have the audio off so it doesn't bing when they're at work. However you do it, however you are looking at your notifications, or seeing them. I have mine so that there's no sound, but the vibration will happen if it's in my pocket. Also, I'll see the little red numbers that come up on the apps, right? Everyone knows what I'm talking about. What I do is I have set my phone so that I don't receive notifications after a certain time at night and before a certain time in the morning. And before that certain time in the morning, that's like an hour, over an hour after I am out of bed. I do not use my phone as an alarm clock. I don't actually use an alarm clock, but for those who need one, and if you have to use your phone, I recommend buying a cheap alarm clock and using that instead, and leaving this guy out in the kitchen charging or on the table, whatever. Try your very, very darndest not to bring this into the bedroom. Okay. For the time being, till you go out and buy a new one, until you buy an alarm clock, put it upside down so that you aren't tempted to see it. You hit the off button and leave it, put over and just leave it, get up, do your bathroom routine, get dressed, whatever it is you do, go out and start your day, do your, I get out, I get dressed, I put my workout gear on, I make myself a shake, I take the dog out, I sit down, I read my daily devotions, I read my Bible, I say my prayers. And then I grab everything and my phone, and then I leave the house and go to the gym. So, I check it for a few minutes quickly then before I go to the gym, and then I'm off to do my workout. And then I'll check it when I'm, doing my cardio on the treadmill or something like that. So there's a good amount of time where I'm not actually engaged in sending messages and rapid fire and hearing all the stuff come in. So, and I have done this regularly, but on the weekends, I tend to, I'm just going to pick up my phone a little bit and check, not in my bedroom, but when I come out and I'm, instead of going to the gym right away, I'm just looking at it and I'm scrolling a little bit. And before I know it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I lost half an hour. Where was that half an hour? And I was thinking in my head, I was going to go do an early walk before a power walk before I take out my little dog. And then I'm like, oh, now I don't have time because I had already made an appointment for something else. So it's a time stealer. We all know it, but we can put things in place to minimize that and to mitigate that. Okay. Same goes for evening. If you can turn this off and put it away, put it down, actually read a book or something like that, turn off your screens at least a half an hour before you go to bed, go around, tidy up the kitchen, listen to some soft music, have a bath, have a conversation with your spouse, pet the dog, whatever it happens to be, something that's going to relax you and calm you down. Number one, you're going to sleep better. And number two, you've had time to calm down from whatever information was coming at you. Because let's be honest, the number one thing that pops up on our feed, news feed and emails and all of that kind of stuff, the negative stuff, there's way more negative than positive, right? Am I right? So the less you can have that bombarding your mind before you try and lay down and relax, the better sleep you will get. And we all know if we're having better sleep, then our bodies are going to heal and repair and metabolize food better. And we just, we're feeling more refreshed in the morning. So you're going to be able to fall asleep much faster. So you're saving time that way. How many people lay in bed and they kind of toss and turn, or they, they fall asleep and then they wake up because their mind can't shut off. All right. So that's what you need to do, because you'll save time with your sleep and you'll have better quality sleep. Okay. So morning and evening, we've talked about the phone. Okay. But with that phone, you still have the messages and things that you check on them, or your computer, whatever it happens to be. And so setting aside a chunk of time. So this comes into time blocking, right? So you can use something like this, a little timer. It's got different numbers on it. And when you turn it on and you have that number facing up and you turn it on, there's a little button, it automatically, counts down your 15 minutes. So, if you put it in your schedule to check your emails at certain time of day, because you know that, okay, I'm at work and this is the first, this is what I have to do that, or I'm on lunch break, I'm going to check all my personal stuff whatever it is, if you schedule that, you're much more focused, you've got some intention, you're doing it with a purpose, and then, you get on there, you do it, it's like you're doing it for a purpose, to answer the messages, to get information. Give yourself maybe extra 5 or 10 minutes just to go and see what your friends are doing because you enjoy that. I'm not saying give up all the things you enjoy, or go and listen to a podcast or a video or something like that, and then put it away, back to work or whatever it was you were doing. As we are rapid fire responding to emails, to phone calls, to text messages, to whatever it happens to be, every time you get distracted, the studies say it can take you up to 10 minutes to get refocused again, to get back to what you were doing. So if you were involved in a project and trying to put together a presentation, or maybe writing something, or even for your kids, right? Maybe they're doing homework, they're writing an essay, whatever. If they get distracted, or you get distracted, every time you get distracted, it's another 8-10 minutes, 5 if you're lucky, to get back on track. If you've had 5 interruptions, that's 50 minutes potentially that you've now wasted in the day because you've let those distractions come. And so we can minimize that by scheduling a time to come and check the messages, do all the responding, check the messages, send out the emails, do whatever you need to do. Treat it kind of like one of the tasks for your job, right? And then oh, well, I do this at this time every day, and I do this at this time every day. Okay, what time are you going to do that? And you might do it a couple times during the day. You say, well, Tania, I can't get everything, done in that 15 minutes that I put on my lunch half hour that I have. That's totally fine. Block another time, block another 15 minutes later, block another, 20 minutes wherever. But when you block it, you're there with intention. You're going through the stuff that you need to do first because you have a short amount of time. You're spending less time doing mindless scrolling. You're more productive, and you're back to what you were doing so that you can be focused and attend at the task at hand that you were supposed to be doing, that you really wanted to do, and then get it done, right? Okay, time blocking. So that's time blocking. So they kind of go hand in hand, right? And assessing. So I wrote down here, assess your online time. So think about that. So we've got our time blocking, we're scheduled, this is when we're going to do it. And if you're thinking, well, that's not nearly enough time. Okay, take a look at the thing on your phone that says how many hours, you've spent online. Now, if you work online, that's different because it's going to be skewed. It's going to show all the time that you were doing work as well, too, if you're doing it from your phone or from your laptop or wherever it happens to be. But assess that non-productive, mindless scrolling time. Okay, assess how much time do I spend doing that? And so I'm not saying to totally not do it ever, because sometimes we just do that. But if you want to get some of that time back, because if you find yourself saying a lot, oh, I don't have time for X, I don't have time to go blank, if you find you're saying that a lot, you need to start assessing, where is all that time going? And does it need to go there? Do I need to spend that amount of time over there? And if we think about spending anything, right? Spending time, spending our attention, spending our money, spending our whatever, spend sort of has that connotation about, ooh, I'm giving something away that's valuable. Your time is valuable. We think about our money as being valuable, and we're, we assess that, oh, those large purchases. Okay, do I really want to spend that much money? And we think about it, we discuss it, we look for a sale. Sometimes we wait for a sale. And then we go, I don't know. Do I really love it that much? Do I need it? And if the answer is, yeah, we absolutely need it. Okay, it's a must, we must have. Okay, where's the best deal we can get this? Everybody does this, right? And if it's something we don't need, it's like, yeah, I don't really need it, but I really want it. It would be very helpful for this. I can get by without it, but yeah, it would really make my life easier. But we talk ourselves either in or out. And a lot of that, how we talk ourselves in or out, has to do with how much we have to spend in order to get it, right? So thinking about what we're spending our time on, and is it worth the time that you're spending? Is what you're doing worth the time that you're spending? Because if you're saying, oh, I don't have enough time to do all these other things, then what you're spending your time on must have a greater priority than what you're saying I don't have time for. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Okay? Is that right? Is that making sense to people? If it's making sense, drop a little mind blown emoji in the chat down below. Okay, because we want to see, oh my gosh, is that a revelation for somebody? It might be. I just have this inkling that it's out, that I did that for somebody today. Okay, so hopefully that's helping you. All right, the other thing I have been working on lately is a weekly planner. And now, okay, so I am kind of a list gal. I do like technology lists. I make those, but I also like to write things out on pen and paper. I always have, I'll put sticky notes for reminders. I'll send my husband a sticky note, or my kids, I used to send them sticky notes, things like that, right? So I love paper. Now, anyone out there a list maker? If you're a list maker, who's ever written out, you think, okay, things I want to do today. And you start writing, Maybe you do it the night before, maybe you wake up in the morning and you do it. And you just add so many things to your list and you're like, okay, let's go. And you get to the end of the day and you had this massive list and you're like, oh my gosh, I only got 3 things done. And now you start beating yourself up. You're like, oh my gosh, what was I doing all day? How did I only get 3? How did I not get more things done? What is wrong with me? Right? Anybody ever done that? I'm speaking to myself here. Am I just speaking to myself? I don't know. Anyone ever done that? Put a 1 down below if you've ever done that. It has totally happened to me. So what I have learned is that, I have put too many things on a list. It's not that what's wrong with me, it's what's wrong with my list. I have set the bar so high that I put so many things that I can't possibly get them done in that one day. So is there anything wrong with me? No. Is there something wrong with my list? Yes, I need to adjust the way I'm presenting my list. So what I found is working is to make that big list for the week. So now it's not a list for today. It's what would I like to get? What do I like, or what do I need to get accomplished this week? I would do the needs first, right? What do I need to get accomplished this week? And write them down. And then out of those things, you're going to say, oh, okay, I've got maybe 10 things on my thing that I need to get done this week. It's a busy week. And so then Monday, this is Sunday night, I write it out, or Monday morning. And then I'm like, okay, Monday today, what would I do? What are the 3 top things that I would like to get done today that I can pull from that list? 3 of the top things that I can do. Because I know typically that I can probably get 3 or 4 things done, unless it's something if one of my things would be, re-landscape the yard. Okay, that's going to be, I'm working on that for X amount of hours today and tomorrow and the next, right? Until it's done. It's not physically something you can do in a day. So be smart about this, right? Don't set yourself up to fail. So here's what. And I'm going to share this planner in our group for anybody who wants to use it. I've got 2 types of planners. This one's my favorite because it's at a glance. It's a 1-pager, right? 1-pager. The other one that I have is 1 page for every day. So it depends how detail oriented you like to be. If you like to make sure that everything you're doing has a time for that day, then you'll want the other one. If you just want to see everything at a glance and you don't need the time exactly written, in a calendar spot, a time slot, so to speak, then this one is going to speak to you. But you can take a look at both of them. I will put them up in the guide section after this podcast today. So, all right. So my weekly planner. So this was last week here. And so what I did is I wrote down all the things that I wanted to get done today. I put myself a couple little notes at the bottom, and then I said, and I printed this out and started on. I printed it out and organized it on Monday. So this was like at the end of the day, Monday. That's why there's nothing on Monday. So I started on Tuesday. So it doesn't matter what day you start, right? Just organize. And I picked 3 things, and I was able to get something done rather quickly. So I added a 4th because I was able to do it. Okay. And then I just checked them all off. And then the next one, I was like, okay, here's my top 3 things. I only got those 3 things done, but I got them all done. Right. And then Thursday, back again, I was like, I had I was able to put another fourth one on there, but then I wasn't able to finish that fourth one, but that was okay because I started it. So you see how I'm doing this? And eventually I'm chipping away at all of the things on my list to getting them all done. And then again, I added some things that I was wanted to get done on the weekend for there and there. And my Sunday was very low because really all I wanted to really accomplish on Sunday was weeding my garden. It, maybe, and I like being out there for like an hour or 2 hours, just, it's kind of fun. I listen to music or the dog's out there with me and it's just relaxing. It's very therapeutic. So anyway, that is how the weekly planner works. So instead of bombarding yourself and setting so many unrealistic expectations, is the fact that you have all those items to do is not going to go away, right? You still want to get them done. It's just, how are you going to frame it so that you don't feel like you're under the gun, totally stressed, and then feel like a failure at the end of the day because you didn't get that massive list finished. So weekly planner, write everything down for the week, and then pull out those things that you want for the day. All right, works really good. I will put that up in the guide section. Now, this is what I've been waiting to show you guys. Now, I just want to make sure that my timer is still up here on my watch, because I'm going to need a timer. All right, there it is. So I saw this a while back. I was, attending a business presentation, and the facilitator was, talking about time and organization, just like I'm speaking to you now. And she was also speaking on multitasking. And she was much like me, trying to get so many things done. But what I found is that, and I didn't even know this until I saw her presentation. And then I thought, oh my goodness. And that is when I started putting all these things, implementing all these things that I'm sharing with you today. And so, because I always thought, multitask, I'm a multitasker. I can get more things done in a day. Except there's a way to do that, as I've been showing you, as opposed to just as they randomly pop up, you're going from one thing to another, kind of like, oh, squirrel, shiny thing, and off you go again. Oh, there's another message. I better answer that immediately. Oh, there's this. Oh, I better do that. Oh, I forgot to start this. And if you start so many things, but you don't actually finish them, it's not very satisfying because you can't check them off your list. And then those negative thoughts come back at you saying, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. Whereas really you're not. You just were misplacing that time and that focus. The energy wasn't focused. It was diffused all over the place, right? So we want focused attention. It's like a sniper or a target shooter, right? He's aiming, he's got, the gun, and he's aiming for the target. And he's just shooting at the target. Whereas opposed to, somebody throws a smoke bomb or something like that, and it just whoosh, goes everywhere. It doesn't really hit anything specific. It just makes a big mess all over. So you've touched a lot of places with it, but it didn't actually hone in on one single thing and get it done, right? Okay, so there's a little bit of a visual. All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you exactly how multitasking either is a time saver or a time stealer. So I've given you a bit of a clue that for me, it's a bit of a time stealer is what I found out, but I'm going to show you why. All right. So my timer's not going to be exactly accurate because I'm not the one, I can't click and then turn. So there's going to be a bit of a discrepancy, but it's going to be equal. So what I'm going to do is I am going to write the word multitasking across my board. And for every letter, I'm going to put a corresponding number underneath it until I get to the end of the word multitasking. Okay. And I'm going to time how long that takes, because I'm going to do both things at the same time. I'm going to write the word and the numbers at the same time until I get to the end. So that is my multitasking. All right. So, whoops. Here we go. And there's the timer. Okay. And so, okay. All right. Hopefully you can see that. It took me 25.12 seconds. All right. So I'm going to write up here 25.12. All right. There we go. So now I'm going to use the other color so we can see the difference. And actually, I'm gonna rub that off because it's not so low. And whoops. All right. All right, so this was with multitasking. Right? I did both at the same time. I tried to get them both done at the same time, and it took me 25.12 seconds. Okay, so now I'm going to reset. Okay, I've reset to 0. And I'm going to use pink one. So we have a different number or different color. And I'm going to hit start, and then I'm going to write the word, and then I'm going to write the numbers, and we'll see which is faster. Ready? And go. And stop. Okay. 15.34 seconds. Wow. Is that not an eye opener? You know, if that's an eye opener, like, again, give me another little mind blown in the, or a little bomb or something like that. Like, whoo, 25 seconds down to 15 and a bit, right? So they were just a little bit, almost a full 10 seconds faster, which is about 40% faster. So, and because I focused my attention. So I focused my attention on getting one thing done and then the next thing. And I increased my productivity by about 40%. So I will end with that here today. And I hope that showed you something, and I hope that sort of twigged something in your day that's going to help you improve your productivity, your time management, your bring your stress level down. Because if we have more time in the day, think about this. If for every, hour you spent multitasking, you got back 40%, no, you wouldn't get back 40 minutes, because that's 60%. If you got back like 20 minutes even, or even 10 minutes for every hour, you could potentially, pull back at least an hour a day. What would you do with an extra hour a day? What would you do with an extra 2 hours a day? And if you want even some more great tips, there's a great book called Time Cleanse, which I also got a lot of great tips from, that Stephen Griffith wrote. So it's called Time Cleanse. I'm sorry, I don't have it here to show you. We're in the process of moving, so I have packed all my the books into the box. But Time Cleanse by Stephen Griffith is a great read if you'd like to dive in and take a really deep dive into some more aspects of your life and how you can change that around. But for today, super simple little tips that I gave you. I'd love for you to hear what resonated with you. Please drop it down below in the comments and let me know, did this, was it what you expected? Did you expect it to be a time stealer or a time saver? All right. So thanks for joining me here today on Fit Nutrition Podcast. Back next week at the correct time at 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have an awesome rest of your week.